I'm Figment, and today we're going to go over a multi-band compression tutorial in Propellerhead's Reason. Now, multi-band compression is kind of a step you don't want to use in the mastering phase of your song. You could use it before that, but I would caution against it because you don't want to get an over compression type of sound. That could be bad. That could be good if that's something you want, but I just want to put that little caveat out there before we jump into this. Now I'm going to show you how to make a 4-band multi-band compression combi patch. You could take this idea and make a 6-band setup. You could take this and make an 8-band setup. You could take this and, you can go all over the place. For sake of simplicity and function, I'm going to show you how to make a 4-band compressor. So, quickly, what is multi-band compression before I run through this? It's basically a way of splitting up your frequency band, your frequency spectrum, into 4 bands, and then applying compression to each one of those bands. Different compression setups you could that's up to you and up to your song. Every single song is different, so there's no kind of definite numbers and definite knob positions where something should be. So with that being said, let's just jump right into this. I'm also not sure if I'm going to be able to, because multi-band compression is such a big topic. I'm really not sure if I'm going to be able to kind of really dig into this topic all in one video. I might have to break this up into other parts. We'll just have to find out. Right now, I'm just going to show you the simple template, a simple setup, and I'll probably jump more in depth with this idea in a later video. Okay, so like I said, with this being a kind of a mastering stage situation, you'd be using this in the mastering stage of your song. It's probably going to be the last thing that everything runs into, that your song runs into. So it's already kind of here. You'd have your mixer at the end, and instead of your mixer running out into the hardware interface, you would run it into the combi input of your multi-band compressor. And then the output of that would then run into your hardware interface. So, with that being said, this has to go. Wait a minute, not there. Okay, so you're gonna want a mixer at the end. A 6-channel mixer is fine because I'm only going to be making a 4-band compressor, so I'm only going to use 4 channels, so that's fine, works for me. You're going to really need 3, really you're going to just need 2 effects units, but you could use a third if you so choose. Those 2 you're definitely going to use are your stereo imager and your M-class compressor. The third you could use if you wanted would be a M-class maximizer, just to prevent clipping. I'm not going to use that right now. Maybe I'll show you that one later. Okay. So combi inputs, 2 devices. So you're going to run the 2 devices input into your first stereo imager. Stereo imager is what makes this whole device work. You basically select a crossover frequency on your stereo imager, and what it does is it splits the signal into bands with a high band and a low band. This can be very useful. So the first thing you're going to want to do is select where your first band is going to end at. So let's choose, I don't know, 290. So this is now set at 290. So 290 hertz and below is going to be your low band. 290 hertz and above is going to be your high band. So you're going to solo low band. So the only thing coming out of this stereo imager is 290 hertz and down. So you're going to take that output, run it into your compressor, and you have here a compressor to use for hertz 290 and below. You can run this to your first channel. You can call this 290 hertz and down. And down. If you wanted to prevent clipping, if you had a clipping situation, you could of course run an add limiter. But for the sake of simplicity, we're just going to use the compressor. Alright, now you're basically going to want to do this again. Make a second stereo imager and a second compressor, and you're going to want to go back to your first one and notice you have this separate out here. Now the separate out could either be a high band or low band. Right now it's set to low band. That's kind of redundant because your low band is already coming out of the stereo imager. So you're going to want to flick that to high band. Now your 290 hertz and above is all coming out of this output. So you run this separate out into your second stereo imager. Now you select a new ceiling of where you want your next band to end at. So we could say, I don't know, how about 840? 840. So 290 hertz and above, the high band, is coming into this second stereo imager. If you solo low band, you've made the new ceiling 840 with the bottom of 290. So you can run this output into this compressor, and you could name this 290 hertz to 8. Is it 890? What's this other one on? Can't see. 840. 290 hertz to 840 hertz. I got my caps lock on by accident. And you can run this band out there. You would do the same thing again 4 times, and eventually you will get a setup that looks like this. Ignore this Dr. Octorex, he's there for no reason. Seriously. And you'd have 4 bands set up with the solo low band, separate outs, high band running in, and compressors for each one. I just put a maximizer there. Oh, ignore this equalizer too. That's not supposed to be there. I don't know where these things are coming from. Go away. Okay. I just put these maximizers here after the individual compressors just to prevent clipping. You could definitely do that if there is clipping. And here you have a 4-band multi-band compressor. For the sake of time, since we're about to hit the 10-minute marker, I'm going to leave it at this. I will definitely expand on this in an upcoming video. If you have any questions, comments, anything of that nature, post it below. Until then, have some fun, and I will talk to you later.